Bonjour tout le monde. Let me situate my work by telling you a story on international students. I was recently back in Moncton, the city where I lived for almost all my life, and I met this newcomer from Burkina Faso who was telling me that he's in Moncton with his family, and he was telling me, well, where are these international students? Because in Moncton we have a campus, a university, who has almost now 18% of its student population from outside, from foreign countries, and mostly from sub-Sahara Africa, so mostly, visible minorities. But he was asking me, where are they? Where can I see them? And really, what really is happening is that you have maybe a diversity on campuses, but in the community there's less diversity. There's not really connections between the university and the community or the city. And this project that I'm starting is to look at really the interconnection between campuses, universities, and cities, and to see how the two actually can work better together. And looking now at Montreal, which is where I am now, I'm starting a pilot project on Concordia University, and to really try to understand the way actually Concordia University is branding itself as a very diverse university. So there's a lot of branding into this, but also is really working with the city in a way, trying to situate the university as a key actor in the city, innovation, economic development, young population, and also working towards retention, integration, so issues that normally universities were not discussing a few years ago. Now more and more these discussions are happening, even if it's a bit still tricky, but we're discussing retention. And in Montreal, which is a fascinating case, because even yesterday we said it's a hub city, 4 major universities, there's still issues of retention for international students. Students can come to a city, they can choose to stay in Montreal for a few years, and then when the challenge of employment starts, the issue of staying, of finding the right job, you see some mobility. So this project, I hope, will open this discussion on the challenges of retention in Montreal, and also looking at, for now, one case, Concordia, and also maybe going further than only looking at issues that we've looked a lot in recent years on transition of international students to immigration, but looking at also what I'm interested in is really to focus on the interaction between the university, its foreign student population, and the city as public space. So I think Concordia is doing a lot in branding itself as a university very connected to a neighborhood, and I want to look at this and to see how students, international students, really live the city. Do they live the city? How they live this city, Montreal, that is presented as, a perfect city to live in, but also to see how really they live the city. And further down the road, so this research is starting. We're doing interviews with people at the university, but also in the community. I'm interested also in going back to archives work to look at the way Concordia changed in recent years. And also a focus group with international students, interviews also with people outside the campus, outside the university, to be able to understand the way the community sees international students in Montreal. And finally, we want to go further with this project. I think it's interesting to look at different cases, cities in urban contexts, universities in urban setting, universities in suburban settings, such as York University in Toronto. There's been very interesting work in this case. Simon Fraser with these new campuses also appearing in cities, but also universities in smaller cities, very smaller contexts. I think it would be interesting to go further in comparing these different cases. Merci.